Yesterday we learned that by the knowledge about your spouse or about how to love your spouse from God, it makes your room, it makes the relationship you have with your spouse get filled with the present riches from God. Now, part of what you had said we'll cover today, it is knowing how your spouse's day were. People will take that for granted, but it is very dangerous. Why? We don't get it transformed in one day, but each day there is something that we do on our transformation. That happens on both sides, whether on negativity or positivity. Rarely do people just wake up and they are bad. For us, it might have been oblivious to us. It is true. We never knew that this man or this woman, they are transforming or they are changing. But it doesn't mean that within them, nothing was going on. Let me even put it this way. Even to them, it might have been oblivious. It is just in their subconscious. Their conscious is not aware of it. But one day they wake up, they start to use some vocabularies that are more healthy, but even more, mostly what I've realized, intentional transformation which is positive. Most of them, you are aware of it. But negative, you are not. You can watch a series, you can watch a TV, you can watch a music, you can watch something. In the morning, you wake up and you start to say crazy things and do crazy stuff, and you surprise yourself. So in other words, change is inevitable. Change, it is about influence. And as we always say, everything I count every day, everything and everyone I talk to, they have certain milligrams, something small. They live inside me, or I live inside them, or I protect myself to enter. Now, in other words, we need to be these people who not only just sit and expect that one day I'll just look like Jesus, or my marriage will just wake up and it is an embassy of Christ and everything is perfect and beautiful. No. Mostly, I encourage couples, when you meet and you greet each other, volunteer information. Let them know what you are doing. And the best way to make it easier for you, if you have program, let them know how your schedule that day is. Let them know that today you bypass somewhere, you go to check the car in the garage, you go to buy a suit somewhere. Let them know how your day will be in advance. Either through the text when you are at work, oh, you remember today I was going to check on my suit. It is being sold by someone somewhere. Ah, yes, I remember, honey. You can go and pass there. You see, letting them know how your day is, when you meet, it makes it easier. Let's say you are seated in the office. In a few, we are about to go to the meeting. When you come and don't see me picking, it's not that I'm prioritizing meeting over you. No, it's just that this hour, it is scheduled for that meeting and it's really, really important. So I have just told you so that you get to know, if you call me, let it be only urgent. Are you seeing how you're making the meeting easier? And also, are you seeing how your wife, your husband is going to see it? It's as if they are living in the day with you. But now you go from morning. They may even say you've had good sex, you've kissed each other, beautiful and flowery marriage. I agree. But from that hour, the only thing you text each other, it's the only food you've eaten, which is still good. But you see, there is more in 8 hours or 12 hours that you've been away from home. Some of it is even more than 8 hours. So how do you think this person, when you meet, you'll be tired? And also might not even want to go through 1 hour of telling her how your day was, or of telling him how your day was. So the good thing, it is to tell them in breaks. And we are coming from picking up the coffee. How long does that take to pick? She can or he can spice. What kind of coffee are you taking? You see, this person is getting to know not only just about your day, but also about the preferred things you like. It can be coffee, it can be cappuccino, it can be tea. They don't only know the husband at home or the kind of wife you are at home, but they also know the kind of person you are at your office. When you are just doing something just in the house, tell them, by the way, there is this colleague at work. He's called ABCD. She's called ABCD. She works in this department, or we work in the same department. He told me one of these stories that she had, there was a lady who, blah, blah, blah. So you see, why? Because the story that colleague of yours told you, it really affects your marriage. Most men, they take this as if they are going to be talkative people. No. You don't know what you are doing. Have you ever seen marriages nowadays? Part of what, of course, besides the infidelity, money, and all of those stuff. Do you know another thing that is coming at the larger part that is causing infidelity to happen? It is reaching to a level where you feel it's as if you don't know your spouse anymore. So when you don't know them, loving them becomes harder. You keep guessing. Regardless of how much they'll tell you are loving us better, you still feel something is off. Why? We all want to know the people we are loving, so that we love them from the perspective of understanding, not the perspective of guess. Even if we guess and get it right, we don't want it as if I'm loving a stranger. And also, we want to be known. Those who are healthy, including those who are unhealthy with traumas, with an adult past, or wounds or scars, they still also want to be known. It's just maybe they don't know how to approach. They don't know how to ask, I want to be known. Or because they are too much wounded, everything you ask them about themselves, either the past, the present, or the future, it is touchy. It is like the whole face, the whole person is burnt. Of course, wherever you touch, these people are going to scream that you're hurting them. But are you really hurting them? No. And please, I would like to bring this on surface for both men and for both women. Please, it is not that every time you feel hurt, that your spouse is meant to hurt you. Now, am I saying that if it wasn't the intention to hurt you and they have hurt you, they shouldn't apologize? It's true. If they have indeed hurt you, whether they knew it or not, they should apologize. But differentiate the hurt that is as a result because someone has just touched somewhere where you are wounded, and yet they did not even know you are wounded. Those two things are different. It's one thing for me to call you a name. Maybe in your country, it is an insult. But also it is another thing for me to call you just a name, which is not an insult. But maybe because you and your ex, you used to use that name and the ex hurt you severely, and then you feel reminded of the pain you went through, and then you cry, then that I have to apologize. No. Instead, you should have let me know that when I use this word, it hurts you. So now, as a result, I have to run, or I'll ask you, what other names can I call you? So that's why we've said, this is an everyday thing you do with your spouse. Besides asking each other, how did you feel, or the kind of sex you've had a few minutes ago, how are you feeling as I'm massaging you? Besides asking what is present there, we also ought to ask what our past is. In fact, today I'm a combination of what I did or did not do, of what I said or did not say in my past. I'm not my present. My present is the past. Does that mean that if I was broken, it means that I'm still broken? No. It means I did something to heal. But even healing, the fact that I'm healed, it is past. Healed. It's a past. So I can't say that I'm me today and then remove the past. Does it mean that I'm always comfortable with my past? The truth is no. But does that give me the guarantee not to share with my spouse or in the relationship that I'm cultivating? No. Because knowledge is inevitable, except this person is a stranger. But in marriage context you are talking about, long-lasting friendships, there are some information you cannot hold. In a marriage, I always tell people, don't hold any information. Believe you me. Including the sins you sinned against your spouse, and they were never aware of it. Do you know why? One day if they pop up, and of which you can never guarantee they won't come up. Believe you me, you can never guarantee that. Even more in the age we are in of information, where blackmailing and things just pop up from nowhere. Today you are silent, no one who knows about you. The following 2 hours, even someone in the United States, even in Alaska, Iceland, a nation that you never even knew that it exists, people are going to be viewing you on TikTok. That's why you should be very careful. Come clean before you are forced to be clean. Because if social media forces you not to start talk about your life that you had not told your spouse, they will still yes love you, but they will be wounded and hurt. You need to understand that. And that will affect the kind of love they give you or the kind of love you receive from them. Very important. And that's what I can encourage young men and young women. It's that we stand and go beyond just sharing common knowledge. A knowledge that even a stranger knows. A knowledge that even our teacher can be able to know. A knowledge that even our gate man knows. That's not the kind of knowledge. Yes, it is okay, share that, but go beneath, go beyond. Write down if you remember something you would like your person to know or your spouse to know. What saddens me, it is that, let's put it in a practical way. You wake up in the morning, today every husband and wife, they are busy. You are nowhere to be seen. Your husband is nowhere to be seen. You get to the gate man says, wow, today you look smart. That enters. I'm not saying that you flatter with it, but at the end of the day, every person wants to be affirmed, wants to be appreciated. You get to the office. This is amazing. We appreciate how hard work you do. It can be a young man, it can be a younger girl, or it can be old. If these people keep saying those words, the danger in that is not that they are saying them. It is the how they are saying them, and it's that they are the only people who are recognizing that. Your spouse is nowhere to see those, or if they see them, they don't affirm them. Let me tell you, unless indeed you are cultivated in God deeply, of which in our generation it is rare to see that quality, you start to emotionally cheat. You start to look forward for those affirmations. These people, they will know you automatically without even struggling to ask, what do you drink? No. You will go to take some tea on buffet. You power in chocolate. There's a guy there is a woman there who is observing what you are doing. Tomorrow when the rain rains, they'll go to cafeteria and then come with the same exact. You feel appreciated that there's someone who knows what you like without even communicating. Are you seeing? I know there you are saying, no, but that is innocent. Nothing wrong with receiving a cup from a man. The other day I was reading a book called Wired for Love. This is what he said. There is nothing like free lunch. And I agree. Any person who ever asks you to go out with them, either they want to offload their emotions toward you, or they want something from you. At the end of the day, they want something. There is nothing like free lunch. No. That spoon you are taking, that soup, that coffee you are drinking, there is warmth. Either this person wants to feel they are worthy by how they are treating you as a man or as a woman. Or even being seen in public with just a man or with a woman. It just caresses their ego. So you just go in the name of, it is just. No, it is not just. Sharing of meals has always been something that brings people to a certain degree of intimacy. Talk about when the church began. The primary reason was to break the bread together and to share their gifts. That was the only purpose. Leave alone today, our local fellowships, they are filled with everything. But when they said fellowship, it was a combination of breaking bread, that is sharing foods, and then sharing their gifts. In other words, equipping each other. That was the whole point. In our days, you see people doing stuff, even you wonder, how does this benefit the body of the church? And give value to hours that these people have taken to come and spend with these people. So that is by the way. You get the idea. Part of why fidelity is happening in the office, it is that. Because we spend 12 hours at our offices than the one we spend at home. Because at home we spend if so much, 6 hours when we are active. And also these hours are the hours that we are tired. We wake up at 5, go to work. That is the average person. And then from 8, we are fresh. We only spend our hours with our colleagues. And then now from there, let's talk about, you come at home around 7 or 8. You are tired, you're exhausted. Maybe until 11 or until 10. That's when you part and go to bed. So are you seeing? We add on not even getting in touch with our spouses, even when they're in their work. In the name of we are busy. Tomorrow, when your fourth child is of another woman or another man, you start to complain. You start to say, he never loved me. Please offer to be known, and also you accept to be known. That will save your marriage. Tell them, including the thread that you met on the street. Just a thread. I know it sounds silly, but if you want really a marriage that has true emotions, which are based on knowledge, which are based on awareness, which are based on me knowing where you are the whole day and you knowing where I was the whole day, you need that. How comes that I can never know your details of your 12 hours when you are away from me? You get the idea? I'm using me so that you don't feel offended. But think about it. How comes that your spouse from 8 or from 7, you don't know what is going in there, or you barely know what is going? Of course, you know they have going to take lunch, that is all. But at lunch, they spoke to people. That's why it is easier. I can't tell you how much that will make your marriage feel more intimate, feel more close. Love will become so easy. Some of you read the books. You never share your spouse what kind of content of a book you read. The take homes you, and then you expect you are changing. And one day you wake up, you see papers on your table. I'm divorcing you. Why? Because we no longer have the same common interest. Now, am I saying that that's the reason to divorce? Please, no. But I'm just saying what is here outside. It's that people reach to a level whereby they're like, you know what, I can't take this anymore. I know I love him. I know he's a good guy. I know she's a good lady, hardworking, glory to God. But I can't take this anymore. And that's why you see families, after children are gone, these people, either one of them, they go to live somewhere else in the name of work. They go in the United States or in Africa. Like, there will be something that will come and then they won't tolerate to stay together. It will be an opportunity for them to part. That is if they don't divorce. Why? Because the only thing they had in common, at least, it was children. But why can't we cultivate our relationship to the level that even our grandchildren, when they come, they will still find us when we are still together? In our days, do you know why people can rather take opportunities that give more money than the opportunities that give more time with them, with their loved ones? It's because when I'm with my wife, what are we even talking about? Yeah, it will be boring. So instead of sitting there and I'm not earning, let me just take this check and go to Belgium. Let me go to Russia. I'll stay there 1 year and then I'll come back with a lot of money. We'll build the house. That makes more sense than sitting down and getting to know your spouse. And then you are surprised why marriages are breaking. I don't know if any of you had ever thought knowledge in that perspective. But that's the only way. I always say, you can never choose not to be influenced. You can only choose who influences you and what kind of influence that comes your way. So now, after you are being influenced, or after you have been influenced, you ought to let your spouse know. Because influence, it is gradual. And that's why the easiest way to not wake up one day and then you tell your wife, I no longer take tea. No. Start to tell them, by the way, I don't know, give me tea, but for some reason, I don't think I like this tea anymore. Now you see, by the time you stop, it is not a shock. They are aware of the journey you started for you not to want tea. But one day you wake up and then you are like, no, it's been 11 months, I no longer take tea. Eh? And you still live in the same house and you still have sex every day. And you never told why sometimes even sexual intercourse are not effective in a marriage setup. When you do sex with someone you don't know, of course, it feels empty. Ask people who have been secular, they will tell you. Those who used to do one night stand or sleep with just whoever, they will tell you, yes, it has effects on them, but it doesn't stick. In fact, it breaks and destroys. And this also happens in a marriage. There are women who just give sex to their men just for the sake of, I'm married. But when they want what they call enjoy sex, they look for younger boys, they look for men outside. The same thing the other way around for men. So yes, sex is still happening in a marriage setup, provision is still happening, but they don't feel appreciated. So when he gives money to a high school girl or a campus girl or a secretary or even the CEO they work with, the more he feels he am being appreciated. Why? Because you have accepted this person to know you and also you want to know them. That's why they say that forbidden fruits are sweet. You know, it's not that they are bitter. It's just that you go with expectation that you are going to receive good things and you accept it to be known, and the other person is going to accept it, they also to be known. But when you are here in marriage, you want just not to be known. You want just things to stay casual. You just expect, I know everything about him. I know everything about her. That is going to make your marriage become boring. That it's not a prophecy, it's as simple as that. If your spouse changes every day, positively or negatively, you also ought to know them every day, gradually, small portions at a time. Am I saying that you always know everything about your spouse? No. But at least when it comes up, be zealous to know what is going on. And also when you ask your spouse, how are you doing? Mean it. Explain what you mean. When you say, how are you doing? Explain, how are you doing emotionally? How are you doing sexually? Explain those things. Don't just, how are you doing? I'm okay. Glory to God, I'm okay too. That is a stranger talk. Not even a friend to friend talk. Leave alone even a marriage setup. If we are able to find out that, if you are able to discover that, we are going to break the chain of the infidelities that are going on around and the dry spells and the dry emotional marriages that we are taking to our counselors. Because they will tell you this, I'm telling you. Maybe in different way, but they will bring you back to this. You can read good books about romance, glory to God. But at the end of the day, if you don't know your spouse that you are married or who married you, the application of that knowledge will be amiss. I can know how to cook every food, but I must know the favorite food of my wife. Otherwise, I'll always cook foods and I'll always feel not appreciated that I have put in effort to cook. Why? I'm cooking things she doesn't like. If you wanted to communicate 5 languages of apology and 5 languages of love, get to know the past, the present, and the future. But even more, get to know their everyday life. How does it go? He's emotionless. She's careless. She doesn't mind. He doesn't mind. How can they when they really know about you? You need to understand that. But also you who want to know people, get to understand that some people are not used to be known. We live in a society of blackmailing. Yeah, we live in a society which is filled with blackmailing. If you say what you've ate today, tomorrow when you part with your ex, you find everything on Instagram. So as a result, even because you have made it your default not to share who you are truly, even when you get in marriage, you rarely speak of who you are. Because you are always, I don't know what will happen. Not forgetting, some people are talkative. They don't know what to share and they don't know what to keep. So you tell them things and then tomorrow you hear your friend, I heard your wife saying that, these days you are not functioning in bed well. And you are like, but this was made to stay in between me and my queen. How did it go out? So we are touching so many things in this episode at once, but we will continue to break them down. And we thank God that you've kept listening and hearing how you can make your marriage an authentic one. So thank you so much and keep having an amazing week.